So Annapurna, there are many people in India who are dreaming to become civil servant.
This exam requires a lot of patience and persistence.
Yeah, I came to know that your score in geography was also exceptional.
Sir, geography is something that has remained consistent for me.
How you overcome with this challenge and what you suggest to students that this should not be done, this is what can create trouble.
So I started for looking in for motivation in my schedule, sir, in the targets that I set, in the discipline that I have to follow.
दोस्तों आज हमारे साथ है अन्नपूर्णा सिंह. She has secured All India Rank 99 in Civil Services 2023 एग्जाम. आज इनसे बात करते हैं इनकी प्रिपरेशन स्ट्रेटेजी क्या थी, सोर्सेस ऑफ स्टडी क्या थे और बीइंग एन इंजीनियर व्हाई शी ऑप्टेड ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल और इस ऑप्शनल को सेलेक्ट करने में क्या क्या मेथड्स कंसिडरेशन में होना चाहिए, क्या पॉइंट्स कंसिडर करना चाहिए एंड मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट कि ड्यूरिंग द प्रिपरेशन व्हाट शुड बी योर रूटीन स्टडी at home, how much you should study, what sources you should follow, which newspaper you should read. All these things we will come to know from Annapurna. So first of all, Annapurna, congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for having me here, sir.
Yeah, dear friends, we also have with us Asif, and he is the senior mentor and he is heading over the AIM program. So Asif, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And दोस्तों finally मैं हूँ B Singh, founder and director Next IS. So Annapurna, my first question to you is, after completing your graduation, you did BTech in electronics. When you started your preparation and why you was tempted or attracted towards civil services?
So the first part that I started my preparation right when I was out from college, sir.
Right.
So gave my first attempt then itself back in 2018-19.
Right.
Of course, was not prepared, so so the attempt was in vain. So the reason why I got attracted towards the services, so two major reasons. One was that when I had grown up, I had felt that this is something that I wanted to join. Even in a fancy dress competition, I went like a civil servant. This is what I want to become. And the second reason was that, sir, I come to realize that this is a job that is not just a job, but it is an opportunity to do a lot of other things for a lot of different people.
So Annapurna, there are many people in India who are dreaming to become civil servant, and now you have succeeded. So what message you would like to give to the young aspirants, especially coming from the rural background or coming from the middle class background, and girls, how they should prepare and what can make them different in the society?
So the one message that I want to give is this exam requires a lot of patience and persistence. So when you're deciding and taking this courageous decision that you have to join and give this exam, be sure that you have to remain patient and calm. And one other thing is that, sir, this exam is not just of an aspirant, but of an entire family. So I think the role of a family बहुत ही important हो जाती है, sir,
Right.
इस case में.
Right.
And as far as being a girl child and the message for girls is concerned, sir, I'm the only girl child of my parents and only child of my parents. And sir, उस respect
You're a
में
proud child, proud parents.
sir. And so the support that I've gotten from my parents is humongous, sir. And I feel that जिस तरह से अगर बोला जाए, sir, 30% अगर मेरा contribution है तो 70% मेरे parents का contribution है.
Definitely
तो I
होगा.
believe, sir, कि लड़कियों के parents अगर उनको support करते हैं तो I think a lot of girls can clear this.
और अब ये हो रहा है
जी,
सोसाइटी में बहुत एक पॉजिटिव चेंज है.
जी sir.
Parents now they have believed, they have started believing
बिल्कुल
कि there is no difference whether it's a boy or girl. क्योंकि अपनी बच्ची को अगर IAS बना सकते हैं तो फिर वो पेरेंट्स वाकई महान है.
जी sir.
सो आई रियली सल्यूट टू योर पेरेंट्स
Thank you so much
और
for saying
उनको
that.
बहुत बहुत सत सत नमन, क्योंकि हमारे लिए तो गर्व का विषय है ही, लेकिन आप बहुतों के लिए इंस्पिरेशन है. एंड कमिंग फ्रॉम ए बैकग्राउंड जहां आप ए सिंगल चाइल्ड हैं एंड यू हैव बिकम एन IAS, सो this is really an inspiration. We would like to have more discussion on answer writing and means. So Asif.
So, Annie, I think I'll call her Annie because I've known her as
Yes,
Annie,
sir.
right? So, Annie, this is your fourth attempt.
So
right?
it's my fifth attempt.
Fifth attempt.
Yes, sir.
Right. And how was this attempt different from the previous attempts?
So fifth attempt, but second mains. So,
Second
and last year also I wrote mains. I reached the interview stage. I missed by a little margin and I couldn't find my name in the list. So this year, mains, I thought that I have to work a little harder, and that is when I found you, sir. I got your contact. And so this year, I think a couple of things across papers, I tried to make a little difference.
No,
For
I'm looking at her answer sheets, and I found the way she writes was very attractive. It was very organized, and she had the right combination of data, facts, diagrams, and she has a very good handwriting. I think you should see her handwriting, and I think really helps.
That's great.
Right. So, what all did you try this year in mains?
So first thing was that I did a lot of PYQ practice initially. Last year I had missed on that, so usme se काफी ज़्यादा I gave a lot of time. So second thing was that across papers, I devised a separate strategy, not one size fits all. So if I can give an example, last year and this year, so this year GS2 and GS3, I have improved considerably from last year. And what I did this time, catch the low-hanging fruits better and faster. So and you had suggested me that, sir, that start from the questions that you are very comfortable with. When you get that small amount of time initially, you mark the question as 1, 2, 3 and then start attempting. So for security, for instance, a GS3, I have increased from 79 to 93 this year. I started by 9, 10 and 19, 20 and then the rest of the questions. I think that also played a role, sir.
And 93 is a very high score. This thing, I think 103 or 104 is the highest in that
yes,
paper.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I came to know that your score in geography was also exceptional.
Yes, sir.
So, how was your geography score this year as compared to last year, and what different you wrote this year?
Sir, geography is something that has remained consistent for me. So I think last year also it saved me, and this year also it supported me. So last year I scored 270. This year it's around 273. So across both the times
it was consistent.
It was consistent, sir.
So the score is amazing.
We'll come to that. So as compared to last year, in which areas you improved this year?
So this year I found that the paper was a little bit trickier, but what helped this time to remain consistent was I had done a lot of PYQ practice for geography as well. Right. If not written, sir, I had structured it, and for this, sir, I got a lot of help from 2 of my seniors who were very kind enough to include me in the discussions. So 9 to 11, we would sit every day, we would have a discussion, and my job was to make sure that everything is consolidated at one place. So I am good at typing, so I would make sure that whatever we are discussing, I would quickly jot it down and then make sure that we revise it later. Yes, so I've got a lot of notes for that matter, but they are very consolidated and precise notes for that matter, sir.
Geography, normally, this is a preference for engineers. What attracted to choose the geography, and what factors you considered while selecting the option?
So there were 2-3 main reasons. When I started looking for optionals, electronics was not an option, right, but electrical was there.
It was.
So, sir, I had studied this area for 4 years and worked for 3 years there. So I thought, let's just explore something new. And there were many options, but for geography, sir, first reason was that there was a lot of good guidance available. I in fact took classes as well for geography. So second was the reason that it had a lot of overlap with GS subjects, not just GS1, sir, but GS2 in the international relations, in GS3, sir, for environment, for disaster management, etc. So that was another reason. So the strategic choice for picking up geography.
Being an engineer, I have also observed that geography is partially science.
Indeed,
and
sir.
partially
Indeed,
humanity.
Indeed, sir.
And it fits well to the students who are from the science or engineering background. Indeed, and if you have developed the good sketching or habit of writing conceptually, then it can be a good optional.
Yes, sir.
It helps in GS also.
Yes, sir.
It helps.
100 marks in paper 1, and I've always seen people with geography options usually do well in GS.
And not only GS, but disaster management as well.
IR also, I think they
yes, sir, the maps, exactly.
They make maps everywhere.
Yes. And those who have the geography optional, they become more pictographic.
And that has worked with this.
Yes, sir, actually.
Many people have scored well who have been pictographic. Right. So, Annapurna, coming back to your strategy of study, it was your 5th attempt.
Sure.
And after 3 to 4 years of study, there is definitely sometimes low feeling, disappointment. Last year also you reached to the interview. So, what challenge? How you overcome with this challenge, and what you suggest to students? This would not be done. This is what can create trouble.
Sir, indeed, so UPSC's journey can become, sometimes it can become very long, as was the case for me. So what I tried, initially I used to look for motivation, but I feel that it is very transient, sir. It does not remain permanently. So I started for looking in for motivation in my schedule, sir, in the targets that I set, in the discipline that I have to follow. So that became an internal locus which I can control, and I do not have to depend on somebody else to give me motivation. So second reason was, second thing that I would follow, sir, that a few poetries that I would read here and there. So it's a small thing that I used to do before every paper. And even when I'm feeling low, today is Rashtrakavi Dinkar ji's Punyatithi also, sir, the 50th. And Rashmi Rathi's Tritiya Sarg. There are certain instances. I would go listen to it, and it used to give me a lot of energy. So, sir, I would suggest the aspirants and the fellow people who are preparing that we should always keep that control in our hand. We cannot depend on somebody who's speaking something or somebody doing something for us. It is our exam at the end of the day, and we have to fight it for ourselves. So, I think we have to remain consistent and try to look for to remain consistent by our own means in these small things, in these small joys. Sir.
Great. I came to know during the discussion that you scored 212 in interview. This interview score, I think it may be one of the third or...
Sir, it's the second highest.
Second highest. Okay, you are so second highest in the interview. What do you see, what went well in your interview, and what could be the reasons that you got this high score? So I think that your approach will be good enough to students that they can follow, and they can also score in their interviews coming ahead.
So first thing is that personality test in the interview is a very dicey state, sir. It is always, of course, a lot of God's blessings and the blessings of our elders and the prayers, they play a role. Last year also, sir, I had appeared for the interviews and I scored 176, and this year a 36 marks jump. So of course, I had prepared very much this year because I knew that my ethics and probably GS3 would have gone bad because there was an accident and I was not well. So I thought that I'll put all my efforts into interview preparation, and I did not have an option either. So I did prepare and I got some time as well. This time, some changes I made from last year, sir. One was that there was a myth that you do not have to prepare for personality test, and it's your personality. If you're good at it, you will excel. I realized that it is not the case. We have to study because if there's knowledge, then it backs your personality and you are able to come out better.
Exactly.
So, sir, I think I have not missed newspapers, and that 2, 3. I mean, it's not a pressure, but I started enjoying it. And I used to make notes, sir, every day for newspapers. And for my DAF, sir, even before filling, I made sure that I ask a lot of people. I asked sir as well. And I took all these suggestions, but then finally decided for my own because it was I who had to continue with that preparation. So in the DAF filling part initially, sir, we have to be very, very careful. And in the DAF preparation part, sir, I think that takes the largest chunk of our interview preparation. And the smallest of the details we must prepare. If something is coming from our DAF, we should be able to answer that. And that happened in my interview as well, sir. A lot of questions were there from my DAF, and that played in my favor by luck too. So that is also a case, sir. And finally, so the last thing is that in interview, there are a lot of things that we cannot prepare.
Right.
In my initial questions itself was a very random question. But sir, if we have done a lot of preparation and if we remain calm and if we remain confident, in the hindsight, I feel that this can help, sir.
And you answered all the questions asked in the interview, or you had to escape a few?
Sir, in fact, the first 3 questions I had to say no to. So the first 3 questions that were asked from me were completely different from what my background is, and I had to say no.
And many students, they think that if we have not answered few questions, they may not score well, or initially few questions, if you have not answered, they will lose confidence.
This is the first few questions, you lose confidence.
Yes, exactly.
That shatters it. So you should not have lost
No,
confidence.
So I believe what matters that what is quality of answers and how beautifully you have prepared, and your DAF should be very well prepared. And during the interview, the conversation, that is something which it should be enriched with the quality of answers.
Indeed, sir.
Right.
I think that in her preparation, I think I should share something. After her GS, she could not give her best to the last 2 papers. So she was not very confident to go with her optional.
Right.
And I think we had a conversation and she was saying that,
Yes,
I said, just go and give it.
Don't
we
think
don't know
about
where marks
what can
come,
click.
what can click.
Yeah.
So many people, they decide how they have to prepare based on how they performance in 1 or 2, but it's an overall result that comes together.
Indeed,
that,
sir.
That
Indeed, sir.
should be taken care.
And civil services interview is like a personality test.
Yes.
It is not the knowledge test.
Knowledge.
Sir.
So how you present yourself and whether those answers are relevant,
And what kind of conversation?
what kind
you
of
have.
conversation, and on that day also.
And that day, it's a good day.
Of course, sir.
क्योंकि वो जो 9 ग्रह हैं ना
जी
वो भी
सर।
अलाइंड होने चाहिए
जी सर।
उस दिन वो सही डायरेक्शन से सूर्य निकला हो, सही दिशा में हो, वो भी
The
जरूरी
panel
है.
is also in a good mood.
Yes, sir.
That is what I am
बिल्कुल।
saying. That is what I am saying. हम लोग ये सोचते हैं ना कि हम सही कर रहे हैं,
जी सर।
लेकिन सही कर तो रहे हैं,
जी।
लेकिन वो सही हो रहा है कि
बिल्कुल
नहीं
सर।
है, वो हमारे हाथ में नहीं
बिल्कुल
होता है.
सर।
Sometimes it is, which is, I believe there are other forces which are acting.
बिल्कुल सर।
Right. So Annapurna, would you like to give any message to the students who are preparing and just 2 months are left,
Sir.
and in the last 2 months how they should study and prepare for the prelims?
Sir, I would just like to say that whatever hard work all of you are putting in, I think just stay at it and keep practicing. I think that is the crux. We have to remain in the go, sir. We have to keep solving the MCQs and we have to not give up, sir. We have to
Right.
fight till the last. Even if our GS paper 1, suppose sir, if we feel that it did not go as planned, we should not give up hope, sir. We should come out, give the CSAT properly, and then see for ourselves what has happened. But sir, till the exam date is there and till the time that you have come to your house, keep fighting. That is what I want to say.
So this is beautiful message कि don't lose hope
Yes, sir.
and keep fighting till the last moment. अच्छा, एक question और पूछता
sir.
हूँ. 2 hours during the exam.
Sir.
That is the actual anxiety time. क्योंकि और अगर जैसे इस बार तो CSAT का पेपर डिफिकल्ट
जी
था,
सर।
और इस शुरू में ही स्टूडेंट्स कई बार ना ये उनको ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं हो पाएगा.
जी सर।
So how the students should optimize those 2 hours so that they can get the best out of the performance? What you suggest? How to attempt
Sir.
prelims?
सर इनफैक्ट इस बार का प्रीलिम्स जो मैंने भी दिया सर, दिस वाज जस्ट 5 days आफ्टर द फाइनल लिस्ट एंड आई वाज नॉट देयर इन द फाइनल लिस्ट. एंड सर प्रीलिम्स हैज ऑलवेज बीन अ स्टम्बलिंग ब्लॉक फॉर मी.
Right.
लास्ट ईयर आल्सो आई हैड cleared by a very small margin. Incidentally, sir, this time my score is 101, which is the highest of myself. I mean, I have not scored this much ever.
And this year paper was tough.
This suppose yes, sir, it was tough
And
as
in
well.
5 days.
In 5 days, and the mindset also was very in a difficult time that time. So what I feel now would have worked, apart from definitely by God's grace, is that sir, in that 2 hours, as you suggested, that I saw that the papers questions are very difficult, but sir, I did not have an option because I could not live with that feeling that it's not happened. So I said that I'll have to remain calm and we'll see what happens next. So I tried to solve all the questions, and sir, I think positive reinforcements help there. Even if you're not able to solve 5-10 questions continuously, there will be an 11th question which we will be able to solve.
Yes.
So we have to keep looking for that 11th question. So that will come. And if we remain calm, sir, throughout the paper and throughout the CSAT as well. In fact, so CSAT, I'm from an engineering background, so I never had to prepare it specifically. But sir, in this time, I realized that CSAT is very difficult.
It was tough.
Yes, sir.
Time taking.
Yes, sir, indeed. And I started with maths portion initially, but in between I realized that my strategy is not going to work this time, and I switched in between, sir.
Okay, so you went to comprehension.
Yes, sir. So we have to be adaptable is what I
Right.
feel, sir. We have to switch.
There's no one size fits
No,
all.
sir, no. And we cannot take it to our ego as well. That
Yes.
why is maths not getting
I'm
solved?
engineer. मुझे तो ये बनेगा कैसे नहीं?
Yes,
और
sir.
फिर वहाँ probability के questions हैं.
जी sir.
हैं?
जी
Now
sir.
we are out of touch of the permutation combinations
बिल्कुल,
since last. Actually, engineers के साथ एक और problem होती है. We believe that कि if we can't do, then others also can't do.
Ego.
Ego आ जाता है.
जी,
फिर
sir.
वो CSAT के लिए. And that is where many engineers have failed this year
Yes, sir.
because they took on ego और वो mathematics के section में लगे रहे.
Yes.
Reading comprehension में गए नहीं. And reading comprehension was not that tough.
It was relatively easier, sir.
The last time reading comprehension was difficult and math was easy.
But
So I
yes, sir.
think
They
that
switched.
People were thinking like that.
हाँ, every year it
It changes.
it
They keep
changes.
changing the goalposts.
Yes, sir.
उसका so thank you. You have any other
No, I
questions?
think we discussed about the mains.
Yes, sir.
And if you want to specifically add anything about the mains answer, I think you can do.
Sir, I think everything is
Right,
covered.
yeah,
Let's go.
covered.
So thank you, Annapurna, and thank you for sharing your preparation strategy. Dear friends, it was discussion with the Annapurna Singh. She has secured All India rank 99, and I hope this discussion will help you to align your preparation and to get certain tips from her. And wish you all the best, Annapurna.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you,
And
sir.
Jai Hind.